Hello, everybody. Welcome back to OSL. Jumping straight into it, we've had our lobby set up very, very quickly tonight. We are in on the Wesker on the Ormond Lake mine. We have Scarlett versing Nix. So, just to clarify before I introduce my lovely guest, this match will determine first place in Group A. So, quite a big match for a BO1, I have to admit. I do have a special guest. It was supposed to be Tavi, but introduce yourself, son.
Yes, it is the one, the only, the big hassle. You know how it is. Keen to see how these games are played out. Jarms, we are on the Wesker, so it should be fairly good. I mean, we always love watching Wesker sets. You know, you got your stock standard, brutal pop, no eruption on this killer, which I do find a bit odd, especially on a map like this where it is decently sized. You know, there's gens not all stacked together as we do spot out Dage, I believe it is, on the Dwight. So, you know, I'm going to take our chase here onto Dage and, you know, do get a little bit lost here, and we do vault straight off the rip. So we do give a tag. Now, you want to die in those corrupted gens just so, you know, those gens that don't have any progress, that is the best spot to die when you're on the survivor side. So that's his goal, just to die edge. You cannot run any further out of the map, so he's just going to have to last here. He's just going to last, and it's actually a good little amount of time that he's burning here. He's just going because the Wesker's not actually hugging the ice block, so Jarms are, you know, actually a really nice death location on the side of Dage.
I mean, you know, pretty short first stage, but yeah, was able to waste that time around a little snow pile there. That was pretty beautiful to see, Hasso. But to be completely honest with you, Big Muscles, I don't know. This map with Eruption is, I don't know, maybe not the play. I think Eruption in this map in the 3v1 lacks. I could just be skill issue for me, but I do much prefer Pop on this map. So I'd have to agree with Revo's choice here, but you know, the standard build, the brutal, the pain res, the corrupt, all pretty standard otherwise. Eruption will still do you justice on this map, but either way, you know, we're going to take a chase down here 11 side, Arch, and honestly, I think he's just playing for a tag, waiting for the pull to come through onto Dage, and I think Dage is going to be our choice of tunnel out. We do get a bit lost here. We're just looking up to see what is happening there. We are seeing Big Chiefy rotate in for the pool here. We're not even choosing to reset. We're choosing to commit this on the side of Revolution. We do not want to go back for the tunnel, so quite an interesting broad strategy off the rip pass, so he must be very confident.
Absolutely, you got to play, you know, as best as possible. When we do not take the tag, what's our goal? To run out of spray balls? I mean, we do get the hit, but surprised we didn't just decide to M1 there, and we've gone for the M2, so we do get it, but that does burn a lot of time there, which is definitely not the play, and we will get a second rush back, and it should be a down here, realistically. It is, so there we go. That'll be a down onto the survivor here, which I believe I almost thought for a second that I'm not too sure who that is. I can't really see, a bit blurred out for me, but yeah, that is a hook onto Shaq. So a decent little chase, but a very questionable play with the M2 there. But yeah, we are going to opt to go towards, I believe this is 11 on the map, and go and get Pop Goes the Weasel on this generator now. The build that is being ran is fairly strong. I mean, it's, you know, I've never really seen anyone not bring brutal. I think it's always been the play, and we are just mind gaming a little bit, and we do catch the Big Chief off guard. So unfortunate there for Big Chief, Big Little Chief, putting in the reps a lot. So good to see him, and we are gonna win the 50, and we do double vault, so that will be a down there on the side of Little Chief. So overall, we are getting our freshers nice and early, which is a good sign, Jarms.
We have 3 hooks for about 2 gens worth of progress. It's a pretty ordinary start for both sides, if I'm going to be completely honest. We don't have a tunnel out right now. We don't have really anything going for us. Scratch that, actually. It's just pulled back in the favor of Revolution because he's just popped the most progressed gen that Dage was sitting on. So if I had to reiterate my statement, I would say that Revolution probably in the driver's seat just based off that. Now this gen is going to regress 2-0, and he just knows that Lemon sat there and got reset for the past 15 odd seconds. So yeah, I'd say he's doing probably a good job in just spreading it around. Honestly, it's a weird approach to not go for the tunnel off the rip and just play with so much control. But I mean, this is how they play. Sometimes in the Northeast Asian regions. So maybe his roots coming back out a little bit, Hasso. You know, I know they don't really like to tunnel that much in NEA. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, big fella. I mean, we are tunneling Chief now, so I think he's just maybe trying to bait in the candy.
Yeah, I mean, you do want to go for your tunnel out as much as possible. It is obviously the best play that you can make, but you know, obviously on these certain maps and these certain killers, it is your best bet. And we do get Chief down, and I mean, Jarms, it is so far a really good situation on the killer side here for Revolution. So yeah, I mean, a good start, and so far it is traveling along very nicely. That is going to be 4 hooks with only 1 generator popping in the background. That'll be the second generator coming into to play. But yeah, so far so bloody good.
Yeah, more pop value coming through as well. Yeah, like I said, Hasso, it's a pretty good start now. I mean, it's odd, you know, if he's playing like this, you know, you should be able to. I know the play is to just deny chase as much as possible, because obviously he's just trying to get into chases, force tags, force quick downs, force just miscommunication, I guess is the best way to put it. And I mean, they're doing well. You know, this is what happens when you don't really have a tunnel out by this point. He's still got 4 survivors in the game. He's losing what I'm assuming is going to be at least another gen before he actually secures the tunnel, unless Chief somehow lose all motor function and just doesn't, you know, loop the god pellets on the map. But we do catch Vish going in for the rotate there. This is going to be a 1-for-1 no matter what, so this will bring it back a little bit for the big fella. Honestly, Revolution playing this well, very well. It's like I said, it's a broad approach, very broad approach, and I think if Chief makes Shaq here, this should still honestly be very good for Scarlett, I have to admit. But he has to make the Shaq card, yeah. We need something beautiful. Oh.
I mean, unfortunate, I guess you could say. I mean, the endurance hit did come into play, and that is 15 seconds of endurance, ladies and gentlemen. So it is fairly good. Look, they're in a very rough spot now. I mean, they need a I mean, they have got 2 generators left, if I'm not mistaken. Screen share is a little bit laggy for me at the moment, so it is a bit hard to tell. But yeah, I mean, so far they are in a fairly good. Revolution is in a fairly good situation. They are resetting in the background. The spray will come off to Vish, and I mean, it is a rough. You sort of need to play as slow but as passive aggressive as possible to sort of force chase but make sure your teammates are, you know, working the motors in the background, and that's what they're going to need. They're going to need someone here to juice up, and I do know little Vish is a good juicer, so if he does get chased, I would not be surprised if they might be able to pop a gen or 2. So we are going to take the chase onto Dage. We do miss our second rush, and those unfortunate misses, Jarms, as small as they might be, are actually fairly crucial if it comes down to every second and every hit that you get. So it is going to be it will come down to how well these survivors play in such, you know, snowy situation like this.
Yeah, I mean, you got a death now. You're at 2. You need to kind of get 4. You need to get at least Vish out here. You need to pop all first. To be completely honest, we need this chase to last. But you need to get Vish out for this to be a good result now to even consider, you know, winning this match here. As it is, you know, it's a BO1 Wesker. Right now, it looks like it could be a 4K1. Whoa! Speaking of Vish, we need to switch on Vish. Oh, we've just waltzed into the killer. Waltzing Matilda, and honestly, a big hassle. Oh my god, the life, so he's not dead just yet. That was actually quite egregious that Revolution let him get away with that. But no, big hassle. I mean, we need to pop some gens, lad, here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is sort of a rough situation, but we do lose the 50, and that is going to be a down here on the side of the survivors onto Big Beach. So, fortunate there, but there's the next generator. That should pop unless we do get a pain raise. We do get the pain raise! So that is going to be very close. We do not go to the right generator. We are given a bit of a nod. So do we go for the right generator? No, we don't. So this one does have a little bit of progress, but yeah, now it's going to be this generator. Does it pop? It does look like it will pop in the background. So that'll be the generator that goes off here. So very nicely done from the survivors to pop that generator. Now it's just about popping this final one and having an injured survivor, one on hook, one healthy. You got to hope that they can maneuver their way around this to a really good, get themselves out of a little hole that they're in, and I believe they can do this. We have seen Team Scarlett many times get themselves into situations that might not be great, but have been able to dig themselves out of it. So hopefully we can see another one of those, and sort of trying to bait a little bit of a chase here so we can get the injured survivor, which I believe is Dage, to get the unhook, and we do get the tag here. So this is a big crucial tag. Every survivor is now injured, Jams, and this is going to be a very close game. It really will come down to how much, how long these chases go for him. We don't get the hit, unfortunately, so this is just a little bit too long of a chase, and they're going to be resetting in the background as we see. And I'm not too sure if they actually did get the reset off, but oh no, they did. So nicely done. They get the double reset in the background, and very nicely done, Jumps. I mean, they're actually not doing too bad, the survivors now. They just need to get some gen progress going, and they should be good to go.
Is looking like outs here. Now, just to reiterate, this is for the #1 spot in the Group A match. Whoever wins this will be top of the table and secure. I mean, both teams. Actually, that's a lie. Only Knicks, I believe, have secured their spot no matter what, due to the way the table and the standings work. I think Scarlett still, if they lose this, they actually. Well, actually, this would be a good time to explain what happens here. So. These next upcoming matches are pretty important. So this one, you've got Knicks versus Scarlett, as we do see down onto Lemon. Knicks versus Scarlett is the one you're currently viewing right now. Now, if Knicks were to win this, they would go 4-0 in their group, solidifying themselves as the top of the table, as we were saying, right? Now, if Scarlett was to win, they would also do the same thing by going 3-1, right? That would make Knicks 3-1 as well. But because this is the in-season house matchup, Scarlett would conquer all and be top of the table, right? You get how that works, right? Now, if Knicks was to win this, like we were just previously talking about, that would mean that Scarlett, Overact, Reactor are all tied mid-table in a 2-2 deadlock. It means, from my recollection, Scarlett beat Reactor, Reactor beat Overact, and Overact beat Scarlett. So you have a three-way, like I said, bit of a deadlock there, which we will be having a round robin on Sunday, or Saturday, I should say. Sorry, Saturday this week. If that does occur. So, big things to play for here, Archie. If you don't win this game right now, if you're Scarlett, that means we have to play another one to secure even a final spot. And as the second team in the group, technically, as it stands, you need to win this one, Buller. Really, you do. And not to mention, after this, Ancestor Lumora, that just secures whoever's second in that group, joining Awake from Hell from Group B. So that's just the two biggest matches I've ever seen in Division 2 currently. And Revolution getting a bit lost right now. Dage is sitting on the gen in the background. The star hero, Lemon, needs to pull off a good chase here. Chiefy Boy is dead, probably giving some beautiful comms though. And oh no, Hasso, what are you thinking? Do you reckon this is out, or do you reckon it
I think they're in a much better spot than they were 5 minutes ago. I think you have to pay attention to how well they play in a 3v1 situation. We've seen this team plenty of times play 3v1 to a fairly good level. But we do win the 50 here on the shack, and no, we've pressed space on accident, I assume. So that is unfortunate there on the side of Dage. So that could be a game changer. So we are we are going to commit this chase, and you've got to get this down as fast as possible, because the truth is they could be doubling a generator any second, and it's just about burning the time, and this is what they need. Revolution doesn't seem to be hugging the wall too much, so there isn't much gen progress now. Well, there is a little bit, but you'd be hoping that they can really take advantage, and it sort of seems like Revolution might be able to pull it back into his favor if he gets the hook in a good location. He does in the middle of the 3 gens, so unfortunate there, and he has a little bit of a hill here to sort of spy on the survivors if need be. So it is a bit of a situation for the survivors now. They need to play this. They need to make sure that they, get this unhook, and you just got to hope that Dage can last in chase for as long as possible, because that's what they're gonna really need if they have, their good 47 seconds to double out a generator and get out the gates. So that's their best bet. Pray that Dage has a good chase, but they need to get this unhook. Maybe even sit a little bit, and we do spot out our next survivor, which was going to be Lemon, if I'm not mistaken. So this is going to be they're in a really rough situation here, the survivors. They it does look like this could just be a secure death, but then again, anything is possible. We are just going to take the M2, and that is going to, does look like he's going to opt not to go in for the hook. So there goes the final generator. Hold on, Jarms. This could be it. It could be... Is that final gen going to pop? Oh my god, it's popped. So this is a 4K0, it looks to be. Unless we can somehow maneuver our way out and get somehow a pickup. Now we do send it on the survivor side here, which I believe is Vish, if I'm not mistaken. Now that could be life, I'm pretty sure, so just burn up the time, but that is a 4K0 jumps. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's a good result. It's a good result, don't get me wrong. It's not... We might actually get the pick here. Is Vish going to rotate it? No, he can't. It's 2 zoned. Lemon's 2 zoned away from the, to be able to get the pick, I should say. But yeah, 4K0, it's an alright result. It's pretty good. I definitely think... Oh! I definitely think from the position they were in, I definitely think that could have been out. So that was a bit of a pissing on, but holy moly, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, wow. 4K0. For a bloke that didn't tunnel to get a 4K0 is pretty impressive. Just kind of played it. I don't want to be disrespectful. It was sort of like a bit of like a pub match. And it worked out really well for me. It worked out really, really well. And this is going to be, yeah, like you said, Aso, 4K0. I've seen better results. I've seen worse results. I'd say this is still on the better side. Probably expected, maybe, because King, maybe, still, I don't know. Still, this map should be out, low-key, with all things considered. But we will take a brief, short intermission as we set up the second lobby. And we will come back right after this. Stay with us. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to OSL. If you are just problems early. So, if you are just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, that's actually quite big in the grand scheme of things. So let me explain
Massive.
what's just happened here. Yeah. So if you're just joining us, Scarlett Survivors versus Nyx's Killer Revolution, they were able to achieve a 4K 0. Pretty decent result on ping versus a Wesker, I will admit. Now, because Scarlett's Killer have brought the incorrect map now, it means that 4K1 is going to be the win condition for Vish, essentially, which is Scarlett's Killer, which it would have been anyway. But now that just means that if Vish 4K zeros, he loses and Scarlett lose, which is a big thing. A big thing. Just being able to pop 5 gens. Now, before Nyx had to get outs, they had to get bodies out the door, a body out the door. Now, you just have to do the exact same thing that the survivors prior to you did, and it's a win. So, pretty big stuff, I have to be completely honest. Big hasso.
Oh gosh, I mean, we love moments like this, but you feel for the killer. This is going to be so much more added pressure. If I'm not mistaken, this is Vish's first ever time, actually on killer. So it's not going to be easy, Jarms. And you know, your first time on killer, I've never had it. When it was the coach v coach, it did, and God, my heart rate was peaking. I was very nervous, and you know, that's in a game that doesn't mean anything. This means a lot. So I can't imagine what Vish is actually going through. Be mixed feelings, to be completely honest. He'd be excited, but very, very nervous. And I'm sure he feels, you know, like he's let his team down because of that. But if he can pull a 4K1 performance out of nowhere, and show us, you know, his first ever attempt, what he can do, I mean, that'll be incredible. So, you know, we will be loading in, and hopefully the right map is set. It is. So we are loading in. We're going to spawn about 6 on the map, and you know, we don't have a great, I mean, it's not terrible corrupt, but we are going to be able to actually spot out survivors. So it isn't actually too bad if we just, you know, find a survivor very nice and fast. So, Jarms, you just hope that you get a good little, you know, fast down at this point in time. And look at that, we've spotted a survivor off the rip. This is what we needed on the side of Vish, and this is going to be game changing if we can get it down nice and fast here. And that is going to be what it is now. If I'm not mistaken, Jarms, if you like to let me know, I think it is a ping game on the side of the survivors.
Of course, it is a Northeast Asian matchup versus the OCE team, born and bred. And Revolution is actually quite a. I mean, he used the one tile, he made back main, made the good tile inside main, dropped it, and it still felt like such a short time in between drinks. And you see Visha going for the exact same build that I apologize, that Revolution was running with the pop instead of the eruption. But I mean, we're gonna have to see something beautiful here from Vish. 4K1 is what you need. I think he will up the tunnel. Yeah, he's going straight back. That is a quick pull. I think we were just rotating back there to the hook. And I don't know how that's a throw. Whoever put this Wesker on this map, that was a terrible decision. Get him gone. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to perform it. We've just sent the reset under the hook. I don't know. I don't agree with this decision. I don't agree with this. This is a bit shambolic earlier, Hassel. I'll be so brutally honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, oh goodness, Vish needs these downs. He is gonna get that down. Okay, what a dash! Incredibly nicely done. That is perfect around a weird looking bend. So Jams, he will have another pain race here. Now there is a gen that is about 80% completed. Now we've got to keep in mind here that these survivors obviously are getting pain raised, and we're 2 stages in. We just need to get 10 more stages, and that is very doable if we just make sure that we you know, tunnel out, and that is going to be the play on the side of Veach. You know, this is his first ever time performing on the big, you know, in the big leagues, so this is going to be, you know, incredible, I reckon, Jams. And we are seeing a couple survivors rotating for the pool now. It is sort of in Vish's hands to defend this one with his life, and make sure and hope and pray that this one goes second, so he can then pressure a few more generators. We are going to get the pop just in time onto, you know, the 9 gen there. So not terrible, but we do need this survivor to hopefully go second if we are Vish.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a pretty okay spot. Yeah, like I would agree with that. The synopsis, Hasso, you probably need to let this bloke hit second, all things considered. Yeah, you need to tunnel this guy off the hook. It's a doable spot he's in right now, low key. We're at 4. I'm assuming they have 2 gens, about 40, 50. Fuck, this one's pumping. Yeah, that one's 50. The other one's just chugging away. I think the survivors might have been doubling before the other bloke set up for the pool, but yeah, we have to go back now. So he's gonna have to concede the main building gen, which is okay. He's probably gonna lose another gen as well for this chase. We need this down super quick. This is the problem without bringing eruption. Maybe if you erupt main there, maybe you can perform a madness and stop it, getting a couple dashes in. But either way, no eruption. We've brung pop. He needs to get this down pretty quick, I'll be honest. Like I said, to be honest with you, Hasso, I don't think it'll come through as quick as what the other ones have come through. I think the pace has slowed down a little bit. If Vish is able to get a very... Oh, unlucky there on the window. If Vish is able to make this chase very, you know, counterproductive for the other team, we might be able to perform it. Who put this kill on this map? That was a terrible decision. Get him gone. Get him gone. We are seeing the Jake come in 13Y for a body block there as well. I believe Vish just holds out for like another 10 seconds. I believe we will see this guy go just infected. Not even 10 seconds. Make that 5 seconds. So it might be in Vish's cards to just break this and just try and go for a dash, Hasso.
Yeah, I mean...
Here we go.
Yeah. So this is going to be very important. We need to lock in, and oh my goodness, the survivors coming out of nowhere. So, I mean, screen share is very laggy for me at the moment. Not too sure if that is on my end, but yeah, this is going to be hopefully on the side of Vici. Needs it down here, and Jams. I mean, I can't really see much, so if you, it's very laggy for me. So I'm not too sure if that's me or if that's just the streamer's side, but very laggy for me.
We have a 4K one on our hands right now. We are choosing to break inside main. This is, honestly, this is still very doable. I don't think they have any pressure. No, we needed that. We needed that as well. No, we still convert on the dash there. Egg being, honestly, proving to be probably one of the better add-ons you can bring on the Wesker Killer. My lord. This is problems. This actually might be 4K1. This actually, Vish might be able to perform a madness. I do rate his Wesker mechanics here. He is definitely showing that he's put a lot of hours into the killer, and I can respect that heavily. He's just having a geeze around, seeing if they've got much pressure. I don't think they do. I think 2 had like maybe 20 on it there. This gen, oh sorry, 10 has about 20 on it. So if he's gonna 4K Arch, it needs to be right this instant. I think we're about to spot the reset. Vish, turn your head, son. My lord. Bit balanced landing coming out too, Archie. This is gonna be a tag though. Beetle Egg, great combination to bring, I have to admit, Archie. This has been a great set of add-ons.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting
Oh.
fair bit of value. No, unfortunate on the side of Vish. But yes, Jarms, Egg is been coming in clutch for Vish tonight. So hopefully we can see a bit more of that value come out and shine through, because that is the best thing needed. And I've got no idea if it's a caster's curse, but whenever I seem to speak, the screen share starts to go laggy for me. So we've pre-dropped the pallet from my eyes on a certain side. So yeah, Jarms, I'm honestly not too sure. My screen is very glitchy at the moment, so I'm just gonna have to go off what you say, mate.
You're still big fella, but we do see, I believe this is Revolution. Down 7 side, gonna force lock. We've opened the wrong locker. That's a bit unfortunate. Holy moly. We just said wasting a bit of extra time here. Bish is getting a little bit antsy. I think we need to get this hook going quick. I don't know if Revolution Pain Res is not. So we need to chase one of them that is Pain Res. We have 2 separate gens split. Oh, they have really good progress. Repressed Alliance coming out too. Oh my god, all the perks coming in. That is a beautiful selection. Repressed Alliance. We are going to choose to pop this gen with the Weasel, of course. And yeah, I mean, I think the gen pressure is way too high. Yeah, like I said, unless Revolution just, you know, decides to play this next chase with his feet, I don't think it's possible. Although we've caught Mayor out of position here. This is actually going to refresh the pop goes the Weasel. He's actually going to go straight. You're going to be able to go straight forever. But Revolution is back on the mid gen, so they're 3 splitting gens here. This is very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, like I said, I think eventually one of these gens will pop. It has to. It has to, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you do gotta be very careful. You gotta be prepared, because before you know it, Jarms, there will be no doubt that this unhook comes into effect, and there it is, bang. So we are gonna commit this, because if I'm not mistaken, this is also a death survivor on death hook. So they can get much value from this if they do play it out correctly. Now, Vish is going to be taken downstairs. Now, keep in mind, everybody, that gen over towards 2, if I'm not mistaken, as there's the life. That gen over to 2 is probably getting worked right now by Maya, and it is, so it has regressed a little bit, but it is about 40%. So we are going to get the down here onto our next survivor, which I thought was LZY for a second, unless it is. I mean, I can't really see because it's glitched, but that is very unfortunate. But that is still, there's still so much value in the perks that Vish has got on, and Jarms. I mean, there's going to be an insta pull here, and this could be we could find our next survivor here. We are going. Oh, I thought for a second he was going to leave, and he has. Hold on. How many gens have got progress? I don't know how many gens have got progress, but enough have got progress. And Jarms, I mean, a sticky situation here on the side of Vish with the amount of gen progress that is coming into effect.
And unironically, this is why Eruption is better than Pop, I'd say. You're trying to kick the regress gen. Come on, son. We can't be doing that. We do catch the spray down at the 9 side. The snow coming in pretty aggressively here, I will admit. But yeah, I mean, it is still doable. I think their most progressed gem was 2. I think there was a time where it was like 70 or 80, and then he popped it, and then it just regressed down to pretty much nothing. So if Vish is able to, you know, if he's able to just have, I guess, a shorter chase than what the survivors were having in the end game of last game, he should be fine here. I kind of was under the assumption this should have been, 4K0, but they've kind of just been all over the shop, the survivors. They're not really, they're not resetting. They're kind of forcing chase instantly, and this is going to be death 2v1. That is heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking, Big Hasso.
I mean, yeah, it really is unfortunate, but I'm not too sure if that decides if Scarlett will, make the finals or however it works, but that is definitely devastating on the side of Vish. But I will say, I mean, for a first game, obviously very nervous. I mean, it does come down a lot of the time to perks, and I mean, you talk about perks like Eruption and Pop Goes the Weasel. There's certain perks that stand out more, and on a killer like this, I mean, because you have to wait for charges and it's not like Blight, it's more, you wait your 8 seconds for both your rushes or however long it is for them to come back, and you sort of think, how much value can I get from a perk, and that is where Eruption almost comes into play, and that will be a hatch escape there. Unfortunate on the side. So Jarms, if you'd like to insight for new people that might be here what this means for Scarlett and what this means for Nyx.
As it currently stands, we're only halfway through the predicted, I guess you'd say the predicted timeline. What the timeline induces is basically, like I said, a three-way tie if you are just joining us. So if Nyx were to win this game, which they have, that is going to be the 1-0 to Nyx. That will make them 4-0. Well played to them on the season. Probably the closest match I've seen them be a part of, low key. But this now will depend on Friday's match between Reactor and Ethereal. If Ethereal are able to beat Reactor, that means that Reactor will be 1-3, and Ethereal will go 1-3 also, which then means that by default Scarlett will advance, if I'm not mistaken, through to the final. So even though they lost here, still not out of the cards yet. But on the other hand, if Ethereal manage to lose, that means you'll have 3 teams tied in second. As I said, alluding to that little BO1 or round robin BO1 between all 3 teams on the Saturday that we will have to go through to decide the team from Group B that will be joining. I believe it is Awake from Hell. So big stuff. Big stuff. What we will do, we'll take a short, brief intermission as we set up our next match. I believe we have Ancestor Lumora with the Wraith coming up on Wrecker's Yard, so please stay with us. That is a big match to decide second in Group A, so stay with us. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our second match of our Thursday night. If you are just joining us, I would like to introduce myself. I am James, but I'd also like to tell you what this match means. You are watching Division 2 currently. This is the second last match of the regular season before we go into our finals, the last being tomorrow on Friday, E3 Reactor. Tonight we have Lumora versus Ancestor. Now, what this match determines, ladies and gentlemen, is whoever wins this match you are currently about to watch will be the secured spot for second in Group B. So this is really do or die right now. The loser goes home, comes back for season or Division 2, Season 2 next season. The winner will go through and play with the big boys in Division 1, ideally. Because, once you make that top 4, Hasso, you only need to be top 3 to make the main bracket OSL. Top 3. So your chances increase really, really drastically once you make it to the final. So we'll just have to wait and see about Archie. Wrecker's Yard, Wraith Buller, any predictions for this match, mate?
It's too hard to tell. This is one where, in my opinion, it can go any way. Yeah, you can get the pick for this killer, but it can still seriously go any way. And we look at the build jumps now. What are your thoughts on this build? Because I for sure think that this build is, your stock standard. Really, I mean, it's your default build. You don't really have much else, and the same fast uncloak and your 60% break. So overall, a pretty good build. As we are going to get our Sloppy Butcher onto Buddha. Now, I do know you've been G'ing up Buddha. You've wanted to see him play, so it's good to see him out there on the field today. Should be a really good match as we just look around, look for our next survivor, and we're going to spot out the Nancy, which is Ghosty Was Up. Now, we have seen a lot of Ghosty in recent times and has been, participating in a fair bit of OSL. So it is good to see Ghosty up here putting in the work. Now, we are opting to cloak back up and break the pallet, which I think is actually a little slower than actually just breaking the pallet by default. So we are going to spot out our Claudette, and I think our goal is to just get the hit and tags and make it easier, as we do see another tag onto Willandra. So Jarms, this is going to be very good if you can get plenty of sloppy value.
Yeah, I think really nice movement there from Big Summer Win Ancestors Killer. Yeah, I think the build's picture perfect, barring probably Eruption for Pop. I think Eruption on the Wraith is just significantly better, but we are going to have to force a reset onto Buddha. Now, we do not have Logic at our disposal today, who was one of the key players last week. So it is a depleted Lumora lineup in that sense, but still going to have to perform, still going to have to put the men in, the men and women, and they're going to have to do their job, Big Arch. And, we'll see. We see Buddha get reset. I think Summer Wind can sense maybe it's around here somewhere. It's actually a good reset spot, low-key. They've gone real back, like corner 1 there, just out of his field of view. And we're able to get Pop onto this jet, and we're going to be able to continue the chase onto what I'm assuming is going to be our tunnel out, which, if I'm not mistaken, was Willandra, Archie, if I'm not tripping.
Yes, so Willandra is the tunnel out now. Pardon me. Yeah, we are going to spot Ghosty Was Up, and we are going to take the chase here. No, we're not going to take the chase onto Ghosty, so we are looking for Willandra now. We do see a bit of blood, which this must mean that it must be Willandra. And look, well, look who it is. It is Willandra, and that is going to be a down there onto Willandra. So that'll be a pick, and that is going to be a second stage just before a first gen, or just after a first gen pop. So not terrible considering Wraith, and I'm not too sure what the averages are on this killer, but overall they are very, fairly high, I think, Jarmed, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, should overall be a close matchup.
Yeah, I definitely think Ancestor are a bit more favoured here. I think their communications and Survivor might be a bit more locked in. I don't think this squad of 4 for Lumora has had the most time to practice. I think they're they had a pretty late out. I think Logic was a pretty late out. So have to, like I said, make do with what we've got here. Buddha's going to step in. Buddha's going to have to perform. We're going to see Will Andrew here on the hook for seconds. We do see Hanato Flare there. Just doing the vault back tech, I guess, wasting a bit of time. Now, let's do or die now, big fella Arch. We need to send Will Andrew Shack. He's not running to Shack. We need a body. He's going to have to play this tile and get the job done. He's just sending it, Arch. I think he's dead. Unless he has BT off this thing. He does it. He makes it anyway. Wow. By golly, we needed a body to get into Shaq. I don't even. Oh no, Shaq Pala just got kicked. We need to get him somewhere safe. He's running to the bus side, Archie, and yeah, no. We need a long chase, long chase.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the top side of the map has no generator at the very top on the side of 12. So your best bet, I mean, you just gotta live, brother. That is your best goal. And we're sending it again. So very nicely done here on the side of Will Andrew. Now, we do see the body block will come in and be slow vaulted there, unfortunately, and we do lose that 50 there, so that will be a death now onto Will Andrew at 3 gens remaining. Now, I don't know if we are lurking for the beamer save. It doesn't look like we are, so unfortunately there, that will be a death at 3 gens, remaining now. In a situation like this, your best bet, you really just want to secure some gens. You want to make sure that you are protecting your gens. I mean, this one, it doesn't really matter. Oh. Ghosty Was Up has been completely... Oh no, they've been lost. So unfortunately, they've run into the killer. This will be Pop Goes the Weasel onto the 6th gen. Now, realistically, right now, we're in a decent, really good situation, in my opinion. On the side of Summer Wind. Now, we have seen Summer Wind all season be on almost, if I'm not mistaken, every single killer. So it is really good to see Summer Wind back at it again, striving for greatness as, we do take the hook there. And we have spotted our next prey, and this will be the Kate Denson, which will be Buddha. So hopefully we can see a good chase from Buddha here. Now, Jarms, it is looking pretty dire here for the survivors.
Yeah, I mean... We need Buddha essentially to have a long chase here. You need... it's kind of almost in the shambolic range here, and beautiful blocking there from Buddha. Gonna have the last. Do get the zone break 60%. This should just spell the end of him on this Z-wall, but... No, honestly, Arch, yeah, the chases just haven't been long enough for Wrecker's Wraith. You need to have decently long... need to make him work for the downs is what I'm trying to say, Archie. And I just don't think they've made Summer Wind work that hard for the downs. And yeah, the free tags and the running into the killers also doesn't help and shit. So yeah, I mean, you kind of have to. I think from what I can gauge, I think the communications might be a little bit lacking on the side of Lumora. Just maybe not fully, aware of how weak the Wraith may be when 4 people are talking and communicating his location at a good pace and at all times. And you can see here, so there's just we're just not having long chase. Like, we've taken a tag and we've just resorted to the edge map Z-wall, which isn't always the worst option. You're taught in DBD school early days. If you get tapped, just go corner, don't die mid. But at this point in the game, it's just better to just go mid and just try and live off something, because you're almost at a point. I'd say you are at a point where it's almost at a lost cause now, Archie.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, it is. You're right. You've taken all the words out of my mouth. I guess the best thing to say here is the chases haven't been long enough, unfortunately, which does have a very big impact on, it's almost straining the survivors because they basically stuck in a situation that does not help them in any way. So chases need to be long, and I think you're right when you said just use the resources towards the middle of the map. That is probably the best thing that you can do now. You're going to have to pray here, and you're going to have a good little chase, and unfortunately we do go down there onto the side of Buddha, which isn't going to be long enough, and it is looking very, very bloody dire for the survivors. They obviously have 1 injured, which probably Flare might be getting reset in the background if we could have a look at that. But I think overall, it isn't like, it's not, it is pretty, very dire, should I say. And Summerwind would be very happy with the performance that they have put on so far. So it's one to face a challenge. But this is going to be very difficult for the survivors to come out of a situation like this. Even popping a couple more gens, it does look very dire as they don't really have any progress on any given gen now. Eruption isn't in the play, so there comes the FTP a bit late into the game. I think probably could have used it on I believe our first survivor, Willanja, probably could have used it on them to help them get out of trouble. But yeah, it is been so far so good, and I'm not sure if that's part of the play. If cloaking is actually faster, cloaking up and destroying a pallet, it doesn't matter because we still get the down here onto flare. But very nicely done, very beautifully done on the side of Summer Wind Jams, and I think there's, it definitely is Raps. It does look like a 4K3.
I don't think we have much generator progress around the map, if any at all. Sloppy put in quite a decent shift this trial, I will admit. For the people in the 3v1, yeah, I don't know. He's just, someone he's just all over him. He or she is just giving them no room to breathe, and that's going to be Ghosty was up down at the edge map down one side here. But yeah, nah, Archie, I'll be completely brutally honest. Yeah, it was a bit of a dominating performance. If I'm not, gonna talk out of turn. I think Summerwind looked a little bit like levels above at the moment, and this is where these big matches matter. Ancestor been a team, for a while. They've played in tournaments before. I think this is like the first time Lumora's ever played in a pretty decently sized tournament. So playing in OSL for your first big one, I mean, doesn't get much bigger than that, obviously. So they've done well. Obviously, it's not over yet. Their killer could pull off an amazing 4K4 result, or even a 4K3. We can go golden chase. It could happen. It has happened before. But if it does end with Lumora, I think Ancestor survivors will play it. It was a good run. Archie. They had a good season. They finished, I believe, 2-2 on the season, if I'm not mistaken. Which, for a brand new team in Division 2, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Not having their star player on the day either, it obviously, definitely showed, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to take out positives out of games, and some teams only win one game a season in certain leagues. Yeah, exactly. There you go. So winning a game, winning a set is hard enough, and winning a game is hard enough. But one thing that I'm sure these survivors will take out of it, even though the game isn't obviously over, they could obviously pull a 4K3 out of nowhere, which would be an incredible watch. But point being is, there is still so much to take out of whether you win or lose. There are always positives to take out of things. And I'm pretty sure both sides really well. I mean, Summerwind seems to have almost perfected this match, with how they've performed. So, it doesn't get much better than that. It will be a 4K3 on the side of the killer, but look, it is unfortunate for the survivors, but yeah, I think best thing they can do is have a look back and see where they went missing, and like you did say, Jams, they aren't there with their star player. It can have a very big impact on your game, and that's just how things sometimes are. You can't always have it the way you want it to be, and yeah. But very nicely done on the side of Summerwind. There is no doubt. What an outstanding performance, and we don't get the swing there. So this is actually, a Jans, I guess you could say, a chase that you needed a bit earlier on, no? Where
look at all the fillers we had as well, Hasso.
Yeah.
So he's ran to 3 different fillers, used Shack Window, connected them all beautifully. There was also a filler up 11. Yeah, you just needed, he's literally ran the second hook timer. That's about I'm not aware if the bro was missing skill checks or not, but still, that's a decent amount of time. Yeah, you just have 3 or 4 of those subpar chases like you did there. That was actually quite a good chase considering the chases we had, I said. But yeah, I mean, like you said, you pretty much covered everything. You can take things away from this. They played well regardless. Summer wind just too strong, too big, too fast. 2016 LeBron, it seems like. We will take a brief, short intermission and come back to see if we can match that 4K3. Please stay with us. Bang! How are we? We are back, and honestly, we've got quite a hefty result on our hands, and I'm not talking hefty as in big house. So we've got a 4K3. And if you're Phoenix players right now, you kind of have to use that intuition to sort of catch them off guard, and bring the pain, son, because. Yeah, I don't know. Your survivors haven't done you too much justice here. I'll be brutally honest. I think if you even put the best players up in this position, they probably wouldn't be able to achieve the win con. Ancestor are a pretty solidified team at this point. Definitely done enough to impress me personally. We do see a tag on the Beyonds very early though, but we do catch him at a really good filler down deep six now. He's going to be zoned here. This should just be ultimately his death unless he has a connecting rock filler here, which he doesn't. So quite a quick first chase there, Big Arch.
And don't know if you looked at the perks charms, but not into the really slowing down the gens at all. It doesn't seem. The one thing you got to do, you got one generator perk. I mean, at that point, I'd just send it 3 generator perks, whack them right down the gob. I don't care about the bam or the sloppy. I just, run it up, and we do get the stun in the cloaked mode. So, it's going to be, yeah, I mean, like you said it beautifully. The best of the best players, this is a very dire situation. It does seem like it could be, you somehow need to pull some ridiculous thing off to actually get even close to winning a win con like this. So, I don't really have I can't really say, I don't really have a prediction. I think it's more how well we can see this killer play and how fast we can get the downs, which are going to be absolutely crucial. So this is going to be, Ancestor have put a performance on. There is no doubt about that. From being a team that was not in Div 2 to now being one of the more dominant teams of Division 2, it says something. So it is good to see them fired up, ready to go. And, we are going to even come in here for the body block and take a tag. So beautifully well done. And we do have a pellet here over towards 12, and we are going to get down. So that is already the first gen popping. So this is going to be the second gen popping as well. So this will be Tycon right away. And Jarms, I mean, there's not much you can really do in a situation like this.
Not at all, brother. And yeah, I mean, if you want a 4K3 tie, I don't even think he can really tunnel, although he's had 2 really short chases on the side of Phoenix, which has been pretty good. He's got a tag on Olympus with Sloppy, so that's going to cause a reset or 2 on the background, Archie. Overall, I'm not hating what I'm seeing from Phoenix right now. I think he can still pull out a good result from this match, regardless of, anything prior to that, bro. But yeah, I mean, like I said, his survivors didn't really do him any favors, did they, my bro?
Nah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Games are going to happen. Performances aren't always going to be up to par. And the truth is, you just got to play to the best of your ability. And we are going to get the endurance last second if I just saw that somehow. So very nicely done here. And, we just need to get this down nice and fast. You can still always remember, even if a game is lost, before Survivors Escape and the game is actually done, so if WinCon is met by the Survivors, you still always play for the best result you can, and that is one thing that we'll hopefully see on the side of Phoenix tonight. And I have seen a bit of Phoenix play. He's actually got a very, I haven't, he's got a decent macro. He has a bit of an understanding of the game, and that's what we love to see. Players that he is getting a bit mind games. He loses the 50 now. This is a beautiful chase on the side of Beyond's. Now Beyond's just not vaulting again, so this is insane. We're gonna go bloodlust 2, and we win another 50. What is going on, Jarms?
I mean, he needs to have a good chase for his last, literally his last chase here. He's clicking at Big Phoenix too. I don't know if I'll be doing that, Big Son. And we're just hitting the wall. Archie, that is unfortunate. He was getting a bit overzealous, a bit confident. But that is going to be the Gen Pop. That will be Ancestor solidifying their final spot, if I'm not mistaken, Hasso. So really well played to them. Remember, Archie, if we go all the way back, they were a team that won that the qualifiers. Remember the last second qualifier versus
Yeah.
Severance, and they've come in. They've come in. They've gone all the way on a finals run. It's quite Cinderella-y if you really think about it. If they were able to go on and win this, it would be really amazing. So I'll be so honest with you, bro.
Yeah, it almost gives me vibes of, it gives me vibes of the 2016 Bulldogs, Western Bulldogs, a team that, didn't finish in the top four or any of that, but have put on a great performance to get to where they are. And I mean, it really does seem like they have got just a great team chemistry, and that is what you need. And certain teams with certain players, they bond in a certain way, and that is something that has a crucial part into how well you perform, because having players like that is how you are going to see results, and positive results, if you play with people that you get along with. And clearly these folks know what they're doing, and that's one thing. So we are going to take the chase. No, we do not take the chase here onto the Jake, so we are sort of a little bit lost here, and we are going to now go back towards, not too sure who this is. I think it's Mummy. I don't want to miscorrect myself, but yeah, I think it's Mummy or something. But yeah, so far really well done from the Survivors, Jarms, and it should be. I mean, it's been splendid. It's been played perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, it will probably end up with outs here. Really bizarre. Those first couple of chases were a bit short. I'm surprised that their pressure's been really good. Big Ancestor. They played really well for what they had to offer. Like we were talking about, Archie. Come in, win the qualifier, whatever. It is beautiful to see. Build was pretty good as well. Sloppy, probably one of the best selections you can get. Bam, overall, over anything, was a pretty interesting selection. Obviously did him well. Don't think I saw him use it too much. But he's had a lot of short chases, and we're going to get the body block there. I think the one thing we're seeing, Hasso, on the side of the Survivors on this game as opposed to last match, they're playing slower, taking their time. They're not rushing things, and I think as opposed to that, it means Phoenix can't pressure as much. He's not as oppressive as what Summer Wind was, and I think that's really what it comes down to in this game, bro. I think Ancestor was just a little bit more prepared, and with everything that we've considered today, the star player for Lumora not being there, logic, whatever, it makes sense. It really does make sense that this result happened today.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Having a star player out, we did say it earlier, is a big loss. Now, that'll be the final generator popping, and yeah, it does seem like Phoenix is, definitely being put in a very rough situation. No matter what the win con is, these Survivors have played incredible. There is no doubt about that, and I don't think we make that. We do, in fact, make it. So very nicely done from the big Phoenix. So yeah, I mean, that'll just be outs. No, we've opted to slug, so we do have 2 injured Survivors. So Jarms, I mean, really, it could be a 4K, but we need to get this down ultra fast and then go straight back to our other slug. So not too sure how this will be played out, but yeah, obviously still Sloppy Butcher on the other Survivor. So we are just going to leave and... yes, I think we're just going to choose to leave and dip and take the 9 stage, I think it is. Yes, 9 stages, so... Very well played. No, we've decided to stay in the trial, so hold on a second. No! Oh, no. Unfortunate. There on the side of Survivors. Should have just honestly left at that point. Not too sure what the play was there. They already met the win con, but you always want to go for the best result possible no matter what the win con is. So, Jarms, very well played from the Survivors. You can't really put it much better than that.
Like you said, so very well played, and we will have our final match tomorrow for round 5 regular season Division 2. Lumora has lost tonight, unfortunately, knocking them out. Ancestor will go through. Well played. Congratulations to them. They will verse Knicks in the first semi-finals starting on Monday next week, I believe. So that'll be good. Other than that, so yeah, overall really well played. We got Reactor versus Ethereal tomorrow night. That'll be good. That's just a doctor set, so we're going to be seeing if any of that even matters, because if if East will win that, then all of this really doesn't mean too much in terms of the three-way tie between. Always happy with himself, 4K0. But yeah. Other than that, Hasso, do you have any final closing statements, brother?
No, I think GG's well played to all teams that participated in tonight's games, and even some teams that may or may not have gotten the result they wanted. They always, I'm sure we will see those teams come back stronger than ever in the future.
Beautifully said. Thank you for that. I'm Jamsey Sasso. Have a good night.